Generating traffic and sales can be a challenge for online merchants. But selling on the Walmart Marketplace puts your products in front of millions of customers who shop on Walmart.com. And right now, sellers who join Walmart Marketplace can save up to 50% on referral and fulfillment fees for the first 90 days. So get started today. Head over to marketplace.walmart.com/savings. That's marketplace.walmart.com/savings.
This is Merchant Talk by Practical E-Commerce. I'm Kerry Murdoch. Used books are big business. Just ask Amazon.com or Abe Books or Alibris. You can even ask Adam Bertram. He's been selling used books for 2 years under the name of Books-By-Bertram. He's made a nice part-time income from that business, and he's here today to discuss it all. Well, Adam, thank you for your time today.
Well, thanks for having me.
You bet. Adam, you sell used books. Used books is an interesting business to us here, and I'm wondering how you got involved in that business.
Well, how I got started was only about a little less than 2 years ago. I had a bunch of books laying on my shelf at home and decided that they were taking up too much space, and I wanted to sell them. I didn't think a yard sale or garage sale was the best place to sell them because they would just go for way too cheap. So I'm a big tech guy, so I decided to pursue Amazon. And at the time, as I was learning and how to do them and getting them listed online, they started selling while I was actually listing them. I mean, I was getting $20-30 a pop for some of them. That kind of sparked an interest in me, and ever since then I've grown and grown every month, and I've been buying books for resale on many different places, and have made a small part-time business for myself.
You mentioned tech books. Is it mainly tech books that you're selling, or is it all kinds of books?
No, well, I am a technology consultant with my full-time job, and this is just a part-time job. But no, I sell pretty much any kind of book that I can get my hands on that I can make a profit on. You
mentioned Amazon. Do you have a name of your business for
Yeah,
Amazon?
actually, my business is just a small sole proprietorship. The name is Books-By-Bertram, and you can find me on Amazon and a lot of different sites.
Books-By-Bertram, B-E-R-T-R-A-M. Books. So you mentioned Amazon. Tell us about that. How many titles will you have up on Amazon at any one time?
Well, right now I have a little over 4,800 books up on Amazon, and I also utilize the Fulfillment by Amazon service, and I have about 700 books on there to where I send a bunch of books to Amazon. They do the order fulfillment for me, the customer service, and that sort of thing. So I guess in total I have, 5,600 books, something like that.
Why do you use Fulfillment by Amazon for just 700 of your books? Why not all of them?
Well, the reason is because number one, it's costing money to send them to Amazon. Number two is if the books don't have a high demand, they sit in Amazon's warehouse for any number of months to any number of years. If they're just sitting there stagnating, and then at that time I get charged a warehouse fee, a storage fee, a certain monthly fee that the book sits there. And if it's a low demand book, then sits there for a year. I'm just paying for it for nothing.
Are you happy with Fulfillment by Amazon?
Yeah. So far it's really increased my sales quite a bit, and since I'm a one-person operation, I haven't had to do anything except get them together and send them over there.
You say it's increased your sales. How has that increased your sales by using their fulfillment branch?
Well, I found that with Fulfillment by Amazon, they have the buyers have the opportunity to have Amazon Prime They also get the free shipping on any Fulfillment by Amazon purchase, so it qualifies for the Amazon Prime program. At the same time, it also qualifies for the Amazon Super Saver shipping that people can get, and also the Amazon name is behind it. They treat my books just like they treat their own. So I believe it's really increased sales ever since I started doing that.
In addition to Amazon, do you use other sites now to sell your books?
Yes, actually, I have books on Amazon, Libris, Abe Books, Half.com, eBay, and some smaller sites such as Velour Books, eCampus, and some other more niche book sites.
Do you put your entire inventory on all of those sites?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if, say, Abe Books sells a title that is at Amazon's warehouse, will Amazon fulfill the book that Abe has sold?
Yes. They have a basic fulfillment. They call it basic fulfillment service, but they charge you a little bit extra for that, but for the books that are with the FBA program, they will send them to wherever you want them to send them to.
How do you keep track of all that inventory, Adam? So you've got in round numbers 5,000 titles. Those titles are on multiple sites that you've just mentioned. Mm-hmm. How do you keep track if you sell a title on Amazon? How do you get it off of Libris and Abe, for example?
Well, I subscribe to a service called Phil's. It's one of many multi-marketplace sites for media sellers, and what it does, I can upload the books directly to the Phil site, and then once Phil's gets it, I set up connections to all the other marketplaces, and they kind of act as a middleman between marketplaces. So if one sells on Amazon, they pull the order down, process it, then send a request to all the other ones if they decrement the quantity of that book by one. So
that's Phil's, F as in Frank, I-L-L-S, is that right?
Actually, it's F-I-L-L-Z, Z as in zebra.
Does that company handle just book titles?
No, they're known for book titles, any kind of media, book, CD, DVD, VHS, whatever you want there. But they've also recently started accepting all kinds of different titles, and all the marketplaces have their own restrictions on what kind of products you can list on the different marketplaces. But they have all those restrictions in place on their site. So, for example, if I listed an auto part, for example, in Phil's, they wouldn't send it to a book site like Abe Books, for example.
I got you. You mentioned this was a part-time endeavor for you. You're a technology consultant. Mm-hmm. Just for purposes of our listeners are mainly freestanding e-commerce merchants, but for purposes of those listeners, what is your gross revenue off your used book business?
Well, I've been doing it for a little less than 2 years, so I only have 1 year's worth of sales. So my full 1 year's worth of sales in 2009 ended up being about $57,000.
How many actual titles do you think that represents?
Well, it was about 3,400 titles.
So you mentioned that you don't have your own e-commerce site. Then you sell on these other sites. Why is that?
Well, the biggest reason is because I simply either don't have time, and I don't have the knowledge and the know-how to market people to my site. You know, if somebody thinks of books, they're going to think of Amazon. They're not going to think of Books-By-Bertram.com. So Amazon has the significant amount of traffic, as does eBay and a few of the other book sites that I have. They simply have the traffic. They've got the track record. They've done the marketing. You know, they've got the lion's share of the market, and decided just to, they offer the used book marketplaces on those sites, and I've vouched to take advantage of that.
So the process. Walk us through the process in terms of the following, Adam. How do you get descriptions? Does the Phil's site, does that get descriptions for all of your 5,000 titles, roughly? Is that how you get descriptions through Phil's?
No, not necessarily. The way that works is with a description. You have a book, and then it has it's in good condition, and it has many different discrepancies from a new copy of that book. What will happen is some people write really long, lengthy descriptions, very small booksellers, maybe dealing in the rare book industry. But for more commodity books like I sell, I've set up description templates. Let's say you click on a button and you say this is a good condition with, light user wear, and maybe a few specific things in there. But for the most part, I just use templates to quickly plug in descriptions for a lot of my books.
So a book sells on one of these sites. Walk us through the flow of money. So how do you get your money, and when do you get your money after a book sells?
Well, it's very dependent on the site that I'm selling on. But for sake of example, I'll take Amazon, for example. Whenever you sell a book on there, so a customer buys the book, they get their credit card processed directly through Amazon. Once the credit card is approved and authorized, then I get it in my order queue on Amazon. And since I use that third-party service called Phil's then grabs that order from the site, and then I get notified of it. Now, after it sells and the credit card is authorized, I have a payment account at Amazon that accumulates, and then every 2 weeks I get an automatic ACH disbursement to my checking account.
Is that how the other sites work, roughly? Does Abe and Alibris?
Yeah, all the larger ones do that, and I've list a few on the smaller sites, and some of the smaller sites still just send you a check every 2 weeks.
So for the titles, Adam, that are not at fulfillment by Amazon, that is to say the titles that you fulfill yourself, those sales, how do you ship those?
Well, once I get confirmation of the order, I have a cleaning, a pick, pack, and process going on to where I'll go out to the shelf with a locator code, pull the book. Once I pull the book, then I will clean it thoroughly. Since they are used books, sometimes they can get kind of grimy. So I'll clean the book, and after I clean the book, then I will I subscribe to an online postage service called Indicia, and once I clean the book, then I will weigh it and get the weight, and then put that weight in Indicia, and Indicia's software will spit me out the United States Postal Service label, and I'll slap that on there, send the confirmation to Amazon, for example, and then the customer will be notified that the book has shipped.
Indicia and the Postal Service, is that media mail that you use?
Yes,
yeah.
Almost everything is media mail unless it's 7 ounces or less, then it's cheaper to send it first class.
Will Indicia automatically decipher that for you? Will it tell you which is cheaper, media mail or first class?
No, it won't. That's actually a part of the Phil service that will do that.
Oh, okay. All right. For accounting software, what do you use to keep track of all this accounting-wise?
I just use a glorified spreadsheet. It's not too fancy.
All right. Adam, I know you have, with all the expertise you've acquired over the last couple of years selling used books, you've got a site that offers help to others who want to learn this business. Could you tell us about that site?
Yeah, I started a blog at sellyourbooksonline.com, I don't know, about 10 months ago, because I decided I enjoyed selling used books so much as a part-time business, and I had constantly getting questions about it. How did you get started? How do you do that? That's sounds interesting for anyone that kind of wants to work from home or just have a side business. I decided to start this blog up, which every once in a while I'll just make a post about what I'm running into, how I started, what the ins and outs of what to do in the business and that sort of thing.
And that's sellyourbooksonline.com.
Correct.
As I said earlier, our listeners are mainly e-commerce merchants. Anything else on your mind for them?
Well, just if somebody that's interested in e-commerce, interested in starting a business, e-commerce is definitely the easiest to go. You don't have to to open up a brick-and-mortar store, pay for a lease and that sort of thing. Take it from me, I'm a one-man business. Made $57,000 in 1 year just on the side of a part-time job. So don't let anything get in your way, and give it a shot.
Well, again, Adam's business, for our listeners, Adam's book business is Books-By-Bertram, and his site, his blog, where he offers tips on selling used books, that's sellyourbooksonline.com. And Adam Bertram, the owner of Books-By-Bertram, we want to thank you for your time today, sir.
Thank you very much.